What up? What up, dog? Let's get into it. Max Kellerman is not leaving ESPN. He's being asked to leave First Take. And there's a lot that's been going on that needs to be addressed. What's up, Burundi? We got to get our game in today before it's too late. Mr. Tall. AC. Yeah, I'm just giving people time to get in here. No, it'll be a joyous time. I had to take it out on somebody else yesterday. Oh, man. But everybody wants to know what is new that's happening here. More information and more leaks have been coming out. But it's what we've already known to be. Max is not really a good fit for the show. He never really was. He's been trying to force himself, and he got better over time. But they paid him a pretty decent contract, in which his details of his contract, he had almost a gag order put on it. He didn't want it disclosed, but it's saying he's making somewhere to about $2 million a year. Max's role has expanded. He's going to be covering more other shows such as football and joining other people that are going to keep sticking him on shows like he was on Sports Nation. These things we already know. But what happened here? Everybody keeps putting the highlight on Stephen A. Smith. And a lot of the colleagues at ESPN who don't like Stephen A. Smith, there's a lot of them who are columnists, have been turning against Stephen A. Smith and turning towards Max Kellerman. Don't forget to hit the like button. Now, Molly got something to do with it. You're very smart, Mr. Proper Music, because she does. Max Kellerman and Molly don't really see eye to eye. There have been really bad moments after segments, during commercial breaks. Listen to this.
Watch and won the U.S. Open, but that's not a full contact sport. It's not against the rules. And
that's tennis.
And it's a one-on-one sport. That's the point.
God, I play tennis. I wore a skirt.
Can I make my point?
Yeah, sorry. Couldn't control myself.
So.
Now, as you can see, Molly couldn't help but to cut him off and piss him off. And the reason why his head is back is because they've covered this already. And she's like, I couldn't help myself. I wore a skirt playing golf. Max is like, I can't believe I'm dealing with this again. Molly is known for doing this. She interjects and talks about herself in everything. It's annoying to people. And it's only part of the reason. Believe me, they're not doing something because of Molly. No, Stephen A. Smith got on board a little later. See, the thing is, Max was trying to do his job, and it went from trying to do this job and being good at it, and I'm glad and gracious that I'm here, and until a sense of entitlement of this is his show too. Once he got to that point, he began to try to outshine the master. Well, his basketball takes have been terrible. When he tried to put Kobe on that list, that's when he really went over the line. Went over the line a lot. Never apologetic, but he wants to be controversial. But he comes from a journalistic background just like everyone else, but not like, Stephen A. is also a journalist, and he respects Max's opinion. But it was things that were happening off the camera that was affecting on the camera in a lot of instances. But Molly also waving her husband's power, and the fights were on the air with her.
Going forward, you can't sit out. You can't get around our system.
How do you know it's that deep? Maybe they just didn't like the offer.
You can't get around. Oh, that's your opinion. This one is mine. You can't get around our system.
The fights were on the air. He was tired of Molly interrupting him constantly with nonsense. It was terrible. Molly constantly brings in her level of fine, or everybody. And what she wants to do. It was also often disrespectful when you see Stephen A. Smith on his phone while Max is talking. He's on his phone. This is a debate show, and the host of the show is on his phone. That shows that you're not respecting your co-host, and you're not taking what he's saying seriously at all. Because see, in reality, Stephen A. Smith really didn't select Max Kellerman. He wanted Jalen Rose. And Jalen was already doing Jalen and Jacoby, and had his other show, and he's been on the show quite some time. But ESPN did not want husband and wife to be on the same show. Plus, they didn't want two black guys on the show. They want one black, one white, two different point of views. But look at him. He's on his phone. When Stephen A. Smith is doing his show, and I'm just here to let you guys know, he does not care what the other person has to say. He's a very arrogant person, who thinks in the matter of, I only care about what I think, not anybody else's. So he's not engaging in conversation or debate. He's just waiting for his turn to talk. Now, let's listen to this.
It's a great waiting to be discovered. The Celtics are that
That's all in my
flat.
body. There's just a layer of it underneath. It's gonna be
Yes,
very
Molly, the
small.
whole country feels very sorry for you based on
Whatever.
based on the fact that that people don't find you attractive
Yeah.
physically. That's I know in fact a big problem for you, and you know you probably can. I don't know what you can. Somebody doesn't.
Just a winter layer. Keep going.
Those are the breaks, Molly.
So you get it. Now, what did that have to do with anything? Have you seen Molly without her makeup? That's all I'm gonna tell you. You'll run from the hill. You'll run for the hills. She's not all that. Anyway, she brought up talking about, they're talking basketball and everything else. She starts talking about her body. Miss, don't judge me. Don't look at me. LeVar Ball. Oh my God, he's making a comment about me. Let's keep it professional. She's in there talking about her body. Max is like, okay, yeah, we feel so sorry for you, man, Molly. You know, this is the level of disrespect. Joe Budden made a statement that was absolutely correct about Stephen A. Smith. He was embarrassed that more African Americans are liking Max Kellerman more than Stephen A. Smith. They're looking at Stephen A. Smith as a sellout. Who was that on his show? I want to say it was Terrell Owens who told Stephen A. Smith, man, Max Kellerman seemed more blacker than you, Steve. Oh, wait. Time out. No. No disrespect. Come on now. We ain't doing that. Stephen A. Smith signed a multi-year contract, $60 million. And in that deal, he had to take on all responsibilities. His podcast show had to end, and he started anew with ESPN. But that's not all. That is not all. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. Smith also was upset he never selected his guest. His co-host for the show. Max was only supposed to be there for 2 years. This is something that you guys don't know. When they left and he did his deal in 2016, and then they brought Max in, Max was already on ESPN. Max Kellerman's contract was already there. He's working on Sports Nation. I don't know if you guys remember that. He was covering some boxing for HBO. They had a partnership with HBO. But his deal expired in 2018. So he was up for a renegotiation. So after a rough start, ESPN decided to stick it out with Max. And the person that okayed it was Stephen A. Smith. He was like, yeah, I think we're coming along. Max knows it's my show. I run everything. He doesn't bother me. We're getting along fine. Ever since 2018. Things have changed. Max signed a multi-year deal that puts him in all these other different platforms, not just First Take. And he wanted that in his contract, to do other things besides this show. Now, Max's popularity on the show was starting to grow as he was starting to piss more people off. He said Kobe Bryant should be on the all-time worst team for 2010, which caused Molly to walk off the show. Jalen Rose's conversation with Max Kellerman about respecting his wife on the show, and just like, okay, we get it, the banter, but sometimes it doesn't look as banter. It looks more like condescending. So they had a conversation about it. There was nothing like Jalen was coming to check it. It wasn't like that. It was just a conversation. Because he doesn't want to look like, and he was telling him this, you don't want to look like a misogynist. So that stuff was never made public. And him and Molly's, I wouldn't say friendship, because they damn sure wasn't friends. But even with Molly, Stephen A. Smith knew what he had to deal with Molly, because Molly's not a person he selected. Again, she's in a contract, and they got to keep Molly on the show because overall fan approval of how hot Molly is the reason they can't let Molly go. So Stephen A. Smith don't even have a say there. But he's okay with people going to watch it because they think Molly is hot. He just has to deal with it. No, she's not hot at all.
Big city. 504. There's a little bit more distraction.
But what I need is more of a
You get
nightlife.
distracted anywhere. You
They
can get
need an
distracted in
athlete.
Boston too.
Excuse me,
You
Foxborough?
can. You're not in Foxborough.
Wait a
You're
minute, a lot of those guys are in Foxborough during the
No,
week.
you're
New
not.
Orleans is different. New Orleans is different.
Nobody is in Foxborough.
With all due respect,
the worst argument, though. You're talking about
That is not the worst
athletes
argument.
with so much
I'm
money.
calling you out right here. That is so phony on your part. Molly, hold on. Molly, give somebody a chance to address you since you always got something to say. All right, here's the deal. So Molly Wood, let me get this straight. Molly Wood. What's that nickname? Molly Wood.
You gave her that
There's no difference between New Orleans and Foxborough.
First of all, it's not Foxborough, it's Boston.
Is Boston a party town, Mo?
Yes, you can go to Boston.
You can go out there.
There's clubs in
Go out is different. But listen, I'm from New Orleans. I'm telling you, it's different. It never
You
sleeps.
guys,
You never sleep.
But you guys, you can get into trouble anywhere.
You don't know
But some places
you don't know
more
the
than
help.
others.
You don't know the help you get. You don't know the difference. You don't.
And I went to LA for work. That was a job opportunity.
You see that? You just see that. You see what they have to deal with? No. You gotta see that there's messages in that. No. She likes to start stuff and then run in a commercial break. That's Molly. She gonna get her 2 cents in, and no one could ever respond back to her. So they'd be like, man, why didn't they just check Molly on that? Because I was retarded. And they'll just let it rock, but they be wanting to, but they'll go to the commercial break. So that's why he said, no. I'm gonna call you out now, because you always say this, and we never get a chance to say, there's no difference between New Orleans and Foxborough? No, I ain't saying Foxborough. I mean Boston. You don't know the difference between Boston and New Orleans, and you got a man that's from New Orleans sitting right there in the seat telling you, Molly, I'm from New Orleans. They are this entirely different. In New Orleans, you could get in trouble very easily there. Very easily. They never let certain things be known to the general public because if they let it be known to you, then wow, then there'll just be problems left and right. But Max Kellerman decided to push back. He started to get a stylist. They start styling his hair. They start putting Max Kellerman with a beard, a little slight beard lined up, looking like a professor to make him look smart. Now, Max is smart, but they want him to look the part instead of looking like a kid that was out of place. Will Kane was better and had more energy. And Stephen A. Smith thought they were going to go with Will Kane because he had the debate format. He understood it better. He had a lot of pushback, but he realizes the show, it's Stephen A. Smith's show. Max used to have that. And in spite of what you may believe, it's still Stephen A. Smith's show. But being outstaged by Max in the big brouhaha that happened, where he's saying, like, I'm not doing another year with Max Kellerman. This was ego by Stephen A. Smith, as he wants to make changes to the show because the ratings are slipping. And he's showing the network the numbers, and he thinks Max Kellerman is the problem. So he thinks a new look will make the show fresh. Plus, he wants to do a talk show like he used to have when he had Quite Frankly. Hello, and thanks everybody for the super chats. I appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the page so you can get updated information. Now, people at ESPN are very pissed off about what's going on here, meaning other columnists, other writers who just by happenstance happen to be Caucasian. Okay, it's just the way it is. They're mad. They like Max Kellerman. And a lot of them don't like Stephen A. Smith. They don't like the fact he's got this big, gigantic contract, and they think that contract has went to his head. And they don't like what's happened with Max Kellerman and how it has been released to the press, that he's being pushed out instead of saying that he is leaving the show on his own or he's going to experiment in other things. And believe that Stephen A. Smith is one of the people that leaked this information. Yeah, leaked it out to the media, and it wasn't picked up by mainstream media. It was picked up by internet media through a circuit that doesn't normally promote this type of news, which means somebody underhandedly leaked out this information that Max was being pushed out rather than Max Kellerman leaving the show. So ESPN had to get ahead of this and make it look like his departure and try to do it with some sort of class. Now, how did it get leaked till it was all over social media from untrustworthy sites? First, the untrusty had it first. Then, all of a sudden, mainstream media started to get a little wave. Then it became a trending topic as it grew legs. See, Stephen A. Smith comes off as a guy who's just there to do his job, and he's unbothered by these things. See, the truth of the matter is, Stephen A. Smith is a company man. He believes in company. Remember, we discussed this before. He believes, how do I make my bosses more money? Remember? My job when I wake up every morning is, I'm thinking, how can I make my bosses more money? And how can I get a piece of it? That's what I wake up with every day. That's how I start my day. That makes you just drop your hand and your head like this and shake it. What? Negro, what? He wants to make He wants to make everyone believe that it's company. And you listen to him on the show, he's always defending the company, never the players. He's always attacking the players. Have you noticed that? Probably went by you a little bit. But Stephen A. Smith is always defending the company. Well, it's the policy. And you got to stay off the weed. He's going to defend the company no matter what. What did the company say? Well, Max Kellerman, once again, you're missing the point. The point is, there's a rule. I don't care what they say. The company said this. He's always per company. Oh, Stephen A., once again, I'm looking at it like this. What's he gonna do if he signs and they don't respect his wishes? He's a man. He has rights. He has a family. I don't care about his family. Once he puts that jersey on, he signed that contract. It's about what the team says. Max Kellerman, you're looking at this all wrong. Of course I know him, man. I know his mother. I know his cousin. I know everybody. They know me. Listen. You're gonna tell me. Oh my God. He is a company man. Okay? Company men like him do not get put in a position to make those type of decisions. He's a company man, so he does not speak for the people. Max Kellerman is player, fighter. He understands that more than company. Max has never been a company man. Even at HBO, he clashed with Jim Lampley on his first main show, Mayweather versus De La Hoya. And they had a little understanding before, because, they became friends later. But he had to understand, look, you work for the company now. This is my show. You can't upstage me or correct me live on national TV in front of millions of people. Are you crazy? Max didn't understand this. But they got it right. Oh, he corrected Jim Lampley doing that about UFC. And once he did that, Max is like, no, UFC is a great sport because Jim Lampley's a company man. He's doing what's best for the company, promoting boxing by dumping on UFC. What Mayweather and De La Hoya has done with their hands cannot be matched by other people and other companies like the UFC can't do what Mayweather and De La Hoya could do and what's in their hands. Max is like, no, agreed, but I must disagree with your statement on the UFC. Those guys train very hard and they can fight too. Once he did that on national TV, Max Kellerman was hot as hell. He was holding that microphone like he was about to break it. Well, that's their show tonight. Mother. All right, Max. Back to you, Jim. He was mad as a bear. He was mad as hell at Max. So, Stephen A. Smith saw what was happening. Max was no longer the I'm just happy to be here guy. Thanks for this opportunity, Stephen A. Smith, for allowing me to share this spotlight with you. He went from that to a sense of entitlement, of feeling like his voice mattered too. It's his show too now, once he got that re-up. It's funny how when people get a contract, Then they balls drop. Max starts doing I want to make some changes around here. I got some ideas on how I think the show should work. And first of all, we got to think about changing the table a little bit. Then I think we should have on some more guests. Yeah, we need more guests on the show. Sometimes it get a little stuffy in here. We need guests. So, more guests were brought onto the show. Stephen A. Smith don't like bringing guests up there. To a degree. That's the thing. When you bring guests, sometimes it gets confrontational because Stephen A. Smith has said something negatively pro-company. So he knows that if he brings a guest on the show, it's going to go bad for him. Because 9 times out of 10, he didn't win against the person they bringing on the show. And he might not even remember it, but they do. Then, once they start bringing some more guests on the show, and it was going, and they start seeing the ratings increase, Stephen A. Smith said this is a great idea. Then COVID hit. And this is when the problems started to really show their heads. ESPN started circling the wagons and trimming the fat. And they were eliminating all these shows, all these projects, all these things that they had in play because they had too many people on salary and everybody's contract was just being renewed. So now they need people to take pay cuts or just be paid out over the years and have their contracts wiped out. That's why you've been seeing the shakeup. Everybody's got to move to like Bristol, Connecticut now. They're closing a lot of offices. ESPN offices, this one's closed, this one closed. There was nothing for them, the people out there to do. There are so many people from ESPN in the unemployment line. They waiting on them PPP loans. Waiting on that stimulus check. Where did you used to work? ESP. You know, so it was a lot of people gone. Gone. Oh yeah, once he said that, it echoed what a lot of people have been saying in the comments. Max Kellerman, man, thank you, man. Stephen A. became Uncle Tom. This was weighing so much on Stephen A. Smith, on his own ESPN show. All the comments that they sent in, people are reading them. And they're talking about Stephen A. Smith, Stephen A. Coon. All of these words are flying across the screen, putting him down. This is not supposed to be what the show is about. This is not Max Kellerman's first take. It's my show now. Skip left, it's mine. You see? Now, when T.O. said that to his face, it hurt him. Because that's what people were already saying. Even if he may have been joking, it hurt him like a dagger. Right to the heart. Right? Because as soon as he heard it, he went right there. No, time out. No, we're not going to do that. No, no, stop. No, it's right. No, for real. Stop. We're not going to do that here. We're not going to be disrespectful. Because that's why I hurt him so much. I mean, T.O. was just clowning, trying to make good television and be funny. But he knows this is what's going to be. They're going to put this clip all on Twitter, all on Facebook. They know it. It's going to be a viral moment. And he's already tired of hearing that. So Max had more pushback and more popularity and more feedback. So now he's being more contested. And it got to the point where Stephen A. Smith is like, I'm not going to do First Take no more unless Max Kellerman's gone. I know I can't do nothing about Molly. Okay, Jalen's her husband. Oh, Max and Molly? Oh, you talk about a hate relationship? Those two cannot stand each other. That's one thing they were in agreement on is Molly. They just can't do anything about Molly. They were stuck. So Molly and Max, I mean, their back and forth was epic because Max Kellerman just looks at her as an airhead. And now Stephen A. Smith is like, you see what I gotta deal with this woman. She makes the dumbest comments. Listen to her.
These people in LA, it takes a while to warm up to them. That's not their team. They've been all over the place. It's not like they've been there for decades.
Would you like me to answer your question? Because I'm going to answer.
Well, I wanted to finish. Yeah.
He does a segment called The Class of 81 about bad defense.
Yeah, I think that's
because
it.
he was on Kobe Bryant the night Kobe scored 81.
People often like to bring that up to me. That it was only 17 points that he was guarding Kobe.
Yeah,
like, come on, let it go. Who cares?
Wow, with all due respect.
That's what I hate. That's what I said to him. I'm like, I hate the segment. And I talked to Kobe about it. There's 5 other guys.
You want to
guarding
call it Class of 17? Listen.
Yeah, I'm mad about it. Change these first.
So she's mad because Max keeps jabbing Jalen Rose about Kobe scoring the 81 points on Jalen. He's like, well, you know, you're married to the guy that Kobe put 81 points up on. And that's when she just flips out. Let it go, he only scored like 17 points on him. So, Molly was terrible.
He had a breakout year. Can I throw out my scenario for you really quick? There's 5 other guys.
You want to call it Class of 17? Listen.
Yeah, I'm mad about it. Change these first year. He had a breakout year. Can I throw out my scenario for you really quick? I have a scenario for you to calm down. If the chips fell exactly where we want them to, right? So Jabril Peppers continues on his breakout year and turns out to be an upgrade for Landon Collins.
That strong safety, an upgrade from
Yeah, okay.
really good strong safety.
Yes, let's just pretend.
He's got like an $80 million contract.
Okay,
I wonder why that is.
let's
But go
just
ahead.
pretend, right? Alright. They get Haskins. Okay, so now we have a quarterback. And they get DK Metcalf. I texted you this guy last night. He is a beast. He's Julio Jones. Have you seen him? From Ole Miss.
Yes, I know exactly who Metcalf
Yeah.
is. I know the 40 he was.
Yeah, yes, imagine that's our team. How do you feel?
Molly, they picked up the pick because they think they're going to have to move up in the first round in order to get Haskins. They only have to do that because they insist on trying to beat the Bears.
Right? They did this intentionally. LaVange wants to put a ring on it, so to speak.
Good, you like?
Double entendre. It's there. But also in football, this is the next point, the coaching. Yes, I believe Belichick is the guy. Without Belichick, Brady wouldn't have been as great. But if you have two equally bright students, and one goes to community college, the other goes to Harvard, at the end of 4 years, guess who's going to be considered smarter or more accomplished? Probably the kid that went to Harvard. That's inextricably
I hate when you give that example. The kid that goes to community college might hustle harder than the kid that goes to Harvard.
My bet would
make
be
more money in the end.
my bet would be against that.
Not offended by it because you said that's your bet.
Right. The point is that the one exposed to more resources and better coaching winds up in a better position. That's not bigger than
Listen, I've been watching Giants games since I was in my in diapers, right, with my dad Sunday football. So no skin in the game in terms of this one. But I feel like my head says LA, but I'm not going against my intuition. My heart says the Cowboys are going to pull this out. I think they're going to win this one.
I think the Rams are going to.
And you know what? They ain't going to be in the away game.
Cowboys
This is
win each of their 3 games is an underdog this season. I told you what my intuition tells me, Stephen A. Smith.
Hey, look, you know what? Hey,
Max, hold on a second. You should be ashamed.
Why?
First of all, 2 reasons.
Okay.
Number one, you used the word heart and the Cowboys in the same sentence.
But I told you for Giants fans.
Why'd you say heart, Giant head, Cowboys? You said heart.
I told you. You kind of get it now. You kind of get it now. Talking to her is like talking to a child. And they keep her on the show because the numbers say that Molly is good television. It's because you guys, the people that came in and said, oh, she's super hot. Oh, she looks bad. Ooh, Molly this. Ooh, Molly. Because you guys are so ooh, Molly, Molly stays on the show. Molly looks great in makeup. But in reality, if you've seen Molly, if you've seen Molly up close, you ain't that. You've seen better. Believe me. It's not what you think. Clearly. Right. She's eye candy, just like everyone says. Oh my God. He put out a comment without Dale Dempsey. What? Dale Dempsey is out. Many other people who fell victim to the systematic issues that were going on, they adjusted and changed their minds. Now, they're trying to get more diverse, but Stephen A. Smith is going to make some changes. But Stephen A. Smith wants a talk show. As of one of the reasons why you see they thank you. As one of the reasons you see they move forward with the changes and plans that they did. You saw him on the Tonight Show. And remember, he used to have Quite Frankly, and he was quite upset that ESPN pulled the plug. Well, ESPN went to a situation that was a little different. I don't like saggy pants. I was never into the baggy pants, sag my pants phase. That style didn't fit me. Well, Jalen Rose's reputation with the African American community is much higher than Stephen A. Smith's. Well, when the show was first take, they didn't have Stephen A. Smith there when Jalen Rose went off on Skip Bayless. But that actually grew the show. When he went off on Skip, it started to increase. No, he asked for Stephen A. Smith, and they gave it to him. They said, you asked for him, you got him. Now that the show is Stephen A. Smith, he never selected Max Kellerman. He never said, he never stated that. Not in a million years. No, he never stated that he wanted Max Kellerman on the show. He never stated those things. But he didn't get a chance to pick. They had a short list, and he had to choose from them because Skip was leaving the show. ESPN thought that they would be able to re-sign him, but the person who created the show went to Fox, and he started taking all of his people from ESPN. He wanted Stephen A. Smith, and he wanted Skip Bayless. He would have stayed at ESPN. It was actually close. But he didn't trust their new direction. They had new people coming to the office. And Skip just look, I'm going with the people I know. And the people that I know is going to be there at Fox. So the move was made. After that, Stephen A. Smith was thinking him and Jalen Rose should do the show. That was his pick. He wanted Jalen Rose and himself to sit there and do the show. Do Jalen and Jacoby, and okay, we'll find a way for Jalen to do two shows. Stephen A. Smith was one of the people. This is something a lot of people don't know. He wanted Jalen Rose to be the host on First Take when Skip left. ESPN didn't want that for what they call optics. See, what they meant is we want a black guy and a white guy on the show. We can't have two brothers on the show. No, we can't have two black people. We tried that with Jamel Hill, and look what happened there. Can't have another show with two black people. We need someone to represent somebody. They'd be like, well, where was Molly? Well, Molly's looked at as kind of black. She's got black hair. What we need here is a new dynamic. Something explosive. It's going to catch the eye. Wow, they're really kicking me off right now. You see that? So, because they did not take Jalen Rose, as we stated earlier, what transpired? Yeah, they're trying to get me off. You already, as long as you're aware of what's going on, make sure y'all subscribe to the page, hit the like button, let them know what time it is. See, when they see a bunch of views and not a lot of likes or something like that, you know, they start thinking it's spam and all this stuff and bots. We don't have spam and bots over here. We got real. And that's why I keep trying to tell people, smash that like button up. Let these people know what time it is. Coming through the door, you should already know. And thanks to everybody that hit up my Cash App. Appreciate that. And the Super Chat. You guys have been amazing. And we will show you what happened at the Saginaw STEM. It was a success. It was a great, overwhelming success. Well, here's the situation. When they selected Max Kellerman, he was already under contract for 2 more years. If Max didn't work out, they could just replace him in 2 years. Stephen A. got comfortable with Max and said, okay, no, this is actually a good thing. It's all right. You know, he's smart. He knows his place. Max never really tried to challenge him and was very gracious to be there. Max got a little bit arrogant, got a little bit of a position. He re-signed a contract in 2018, which gave him more power. He had more shows, more participation in things on ESPN. So he believed his voice mattered more. And Stephen A. people, even the brothers, he's pro player. Stephen A. is pro company. He always takes the company side. No matter what the situation is. Well, what did the company say? Well, the owners and the general managers and the people over there, they told me a whole different story. They told me he's lazy. He can't play. His hands are too small. He can't catch the ball. No, thank you, No Zaddy Zone. Oh yeah, I got something for the Patreon today. To address a lot of issues. I got a lot of good rest today. So that was a good thing. I got some good sleep. But now the rain's starting to come in. And I gotta get ready to take on Burundi. So let me fire up the PS5, get my red controller. I want revenge. I'm out for revenge. Aisle 716. Cena want revenge. He's finna fall. My red controller time. I had to go sift on him. It's on now. Deuces.